Okay guys, welcome back to FPL. The games are coming through thick and fast this week, so we're going to be reviewing both Game Week 20 and 21 in this video, and then do the preview for Game Week 22. So in Game Week 20, I scored 61 points. I made one free transfer, which was to get Gundogan in for Kevin De Bruyne, which was quite a popular transfer because Kevin De Bruyne got injured in the last game, and Gundogan was doing really well, especially in the double game week where he scored twice. So that was quite a popular transfer, and it paid off immediately. He scored twice against West Brom and got 14 points, so that was really good. My captain was Fernandes, who unfortunately blanked. Other players that did really well in that week was Cancelo. City in general were looking really, really sharp against West Brom. Kept the clean sheet, and Cancelo scoring and assisting. We all knew that he had a hole in him, and it was really good that he finally got his reward. Grealish is ticking along. He got a goal with some bonus, so really pleased with him. But other than that, it wasn't a fantastic game week, but it was enough for me to get a generous green arrow. So that took me from 26k to 17k, which is quite nice, even though I didn't really nail my captain. And then in game week 21, which is currently live as we're recording, the Spurs game is still going on. I made one free transfer, which was to bring in Lucas Dean in for Dallas, because I thought Everton had a really good set of fixtures coming up, starting with Newcastle at home, but then they've got Leeds and Fulham in the next three after that. So it was a bit of a shock result, Newcastle being Everton, because Newcastle were looking really poor in the last few games. So that was disappointing. So my transfer there didn't really pay off. And Dallas, as we know, scored against Leicester. So that was a bit unfortunate. But I'm still looking forward to having Dean for the next few games. I think he's really attacking. He's constantly putting in crosses, taking shots. He's on set pieces. So I think he can still get me points in the next few games. So far, I'm on 53 points, and once bonus and substitutions have been added in, I'm currently on 68 points with Son to play. So this week I captained Gundogan because he's been scoring in the last few games. So I thought at Sheffield United at home, he could still get something, even if it is a jammy penalty. But unfortunately, he blanked, so that wasn't great. And I had the vice captain on Salah, who's scored twice and is probably going to get 3 bonus on top of that. So that was an unfortunate call, but I can't blame myself too much going into the game. Gundogan was on red hot form, whereas Salah hadn't really scored in the league for a good 6 game weeks. So I think it was a close call, but I think if I had to make the decision again, I probably wouldn't change my mind. I think Gundogan was the right call at the time. Grealish gets an assist. He's ticking along nicely, and Bamford did really well. So I was really close to taking a -4 this week, removing Bamford for Calvert-Lewin, which was quite a popular transfer this week because, again, people saw Everton's fixtures and thought now's a good time to get on board. But Bamford gets a goal and 2 assists, and he's going to get 3 bonus on top. So that's a massive point swing if you make that transfer. So I'm really happy that I kept him. The other main source of points in my team was Martinez with 10 points. I mean, he does so well when he gets a clean sheet, because he often makes at least a couple of saves on top, and that puts him right on top for the bonus. So that's his 4th double-digit return this season, and for a goalkeeper, that's just so good. So he's probably just going to stay in my team for the whole season. He's really, really good keeper to have, to be honest. So I'm currently projected at the moment to go from 17k to 12k this game week. So it's a very small green arrow, but at least it's a green arrow. So I'm 5 points off the top 10k. So I'm making good progress in that regard. So I'm hoping in the next few game weeks I can get into that top 10k, which is my aim this season. So this is my current team for game week 22. So obviously I'll be waiting for all the team news to see what's happening with regards to injuries. Bamford's currently flagged because he came off with a dead leg at the end of the Leeds and Leicester game. But I think he's probably going to be okay. I don't really have any transfers that I'm hoping to make in this game week. There's nothing that I really need to be doing. Last week, my transfer was originally going to be to bring Kane, but it doesn't look like Kane's going to be fit until for another few weeks. So I'm just waiting to hear what the information is on that before I go in for Kane. So at the moment, I'm looking at probably just holding my free transfer. The only decision I'll probably have to make is to decide who to play between Dean and Holding. I think if I had to pick one, I'd probably go Dean just because he's the more attacking player and it's just the more exciting pick to make. Holding, I think, has better chance of keeping a clean sheet against Wolves, who haven't scored in the last 2 games. And Arsenal defence has actually tightened up a lot. They've kept quite a few clean sheets in the last few. So at the moment, I've got Holding, but I'll probably be going back and forth on that until the deadline. I thought about maybe benching Bamford, but after his recent performance, I just can't see myself doing that. I can't see myself benching any of my other attackers because all of them have pretty good fixtures. The only exception is that probably Son. But would I really want to bench Son against Chelsea? It's a really hard decision to make to bench Son for the likes of Dean or Holding. Probably not going to do that. For game week 22, I'd say the key fixtures to target are Burnley against Man City. So I think what happened in the last game week is that Pep obviously rotated a lot of players, including Cancelo and Stones, who I had. So that was unfortunate. But I'm hoping both of them return to the lineup against Burnley. I think that's another clean sheet there waiting to happen. So if you haven't got the likes of a Man City defender, it's still worthwhile just having at least one, even though their fixtures turn a little bit after game week 22. So I'm definitely at least going to be keeping Cancelo because I think even if he doesn't keep a clean sheet, he's always good for attacking returns. The other good fixture I'd say in game week 22 is Liverpool against Brighton. So Liverpool are looking to be in pretty good form in the last 2, beating both Spurs and beating West Ham quite convincingly. Salah's picked up form again, so he's probably a captaincy target. And the other key fixture in game week 22 is Leicester versus Fulham. Leicester were a bit disappointing against Leeds, but players like Barnes and Maddison are still consistently returning. So I think if you're in the market or sort of a mid-price midfielder around the 7.5 million mark, I think Barnes and Maddison are really good picks. So those are probably the 3 best fixtures to target. The Man U Southampton game I think is quite difficult to call. Man U have just slipped slightly over the last few games, but you can expect them to bounce back with the likes of Rashford and Fernandes. So Fernandes is potentially a captaincy target against Southampton, but I think most people, if they have Salah, they're going to be captaining Salah on the back of his brace. And Salah is definitely my captain. And I'm going to put my vice captaincy on Fernandes as well. So that's all that we're going to be talking about today. I hope the game weeks have been good for you. It's really exciting when we've got loads of game weeks going back to back, and we can see sort of how our ranks change over that time. For me, I've jumped a couple times over the last few game weeks. So I was 56k in game week 18, and now I'm sort of creeping towards the top 10k. So I'm making slow progress, but it's getting there. So I hope the same is going for all of you. And if you're new here, please subscribe and support the channel. Please like the video and comment. If you've got any questions about your teams, any transfers that you're not sure about, just let me know. I'll do my best to offer my advice. And please share the video on Twitter or on any other social media platforms, and I'll see you all for the next game week.